Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky and I work in the spirit dimensions. And as always in all my videos, please take what resonates and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. I thought I would open up a little bit on the channel here and just talk to you about my experiences working in the spirit dimensions. I have done a couple of videos in the past about my near-death experiences and my journey with the Hawk and I and how we got here. But I thought I would share with you a little bit more how my journey with spirit has impacted my life. It has been an incredible journey, and I absolutely wouldn't change it for the world. And I'm very excited for what is coming ahead for Spirit and I. There's always so much learning. I don't put a ceiling on myself with my abilities, and I'm here to work in the spirit dimensions as long as they are willing to have me. Now, working with spirit and doing what I do, I think one of the biggest things that I had to overcome was the fear of being labeled, the whole crazy bit, and a lot of judgment was thrown my way. Um, People did step back from friendships, and that's okay. Not everybody has to understand what I do. Only I have to understand what I do. And to be honest, there are times where it's even hard to explain what I do. And there are moments where my jaw drops with what I see, what spirit shows me. There are times where I just hit that pause button and take a big breath in and go, wow. Now, there have been people that have asked me about my mental health. I've been questioned on if I'm sane, and I do understand the fine line between what I do and, certain types of mental health disorders. I truly do understand that. And like I said, there is a very fine line with mental health disorders and what I see and what I do and how I work in the spirit dimensions. There's also some significant differences with that. The spirits that I connect to don't tell me what to do. I choose to work in the spirit dimensions. I can also disconnect myself from the spirit dimensions. So I have a lot of my own control on whether or not I want to do this. I can step back and have stepped back over the years. And the reason that I stepped back over the years was to kind of allow myself to process and have my physical brain and my physical body kind of catch up with the work that I do, to kind of digest what I'm learning and how I'm processing it. I absolutely love to teach. I love being part of people's journeys, to put them on the path to healing, to help them through their grief, working in the spirit dimensions and with the angelics. It's brought me so much joy. And I think I got to a crossroads probably about 10 years ago. I got to a crossroads with a question that I had to answer on my own. Was that question was am I truly okay with what I do? And it had to come from within me. It had to come from me. I had to want to do this, and I had to get to a space where I was okay with what I do, no matter what. No matter what people thought, no matter who was going to step back. I had to get to that space, and it took me quite a while to get there and stand in it firmly. And I think that no matter what we do on our journey, no matter what you do on your journey, the importance of being so firm in standing in your truth and who you are and living from that vibration. It takes a lot of courage for you to do that. It takes a lot of internal strength to be able to say, here I am. And I think one of the biggest things for me, one of the biggest hurdles that I had to jump over, was being okay with whatever people thought. And, those who love me unconditionally supported me through this journey with my mediumship. took interest in what I do and cheered me on. And, I've met some amazing people on this journey as well that cheered me on to give me the strength to stand in my truth. It's not easy to stand in our truth, especially when labels are put on us. And I think that overall, when you look at spirituality and when you look at the history there's a lot of history on how spiritual people and leaders were treated over the centuries. I mean, at one point in time, the oracle was very dear to the king, and no decisions were made unless the oracle sat in on the discussions. And we shifted out of that. There was some dark parts in history with the witch trials, and there's been a lot of history there that I think spiritual people and mediums and psychics have had to push up against as well. I just stood in my truth, and if people needed to step back, I allowed that with love. I don't hold resentments or grudges with people who don't understand. They don't need to. They don't need to understand. That's not up to me. It's not up to me to prove myself. It's not up to me to change them. It's up to me to just simply open a door, and if people are welcome to walk in and they're welcome to walk out. And that getting to that pivotal point of being 100% okay with what other people think of what I do was huge. And the more that I stand in that, the stronger that I do become. And when you think about your own journey and you think about your own truths, and I'm sure you all have had people that have stepped back because of your decisions, because of your truths that you've stood in, and standing in your truth in a very loving way is the right thing to do for your heart. And that is where I had to get to. I spent a long time really getting there. And there are even moments now, even doing the YouTube channel is a good one. Being able to sit here and say, here I am, and this is what I do. And it's very powerful to stand in that truth. It's very powerful to connect to yourself without worrying or dancing in the what ifs. What if people think I'm crazy? Well, people are probably going to think I'm crazy whether I'm into mediumship or spirituality or not, because you can't please them all no matter what. That's the other thing. And my life changed when I embraced all of who I am. The other interesting thing that changed, and it continues to change, is my connection to the spirit dimensions. The deeper I go within myself and standing in my own truth, the deeper and the stronger that connection to the spirit dimensions has become as well, because the unbreakable trust in knowing who I am and the unbreakable trust in knowing what the spirit dimensions are about, it grows the relationship. And that's one thing that I teach my students is the more you trust, the more you're going to get when it comes to learning mediumship, learning how to work with the angelics. The more you trust, the more you trust. I truly am in a really good space with who I am, and I'm truly in a very good space with, people who need to step back. And that has been one of the biggest hurdles I think I've ever jumped on my journey. That's got to be one of the biggest hurdles. Anyway, I do hope that you enjoyed hearing a little bit more about me and my experiences on my journey. As always, I'm wishing you love, light, blessings, and a spirit guided day.